Of course I remember her. Has she turned up then?
No, but she's been writing letters.
Really? Recently?
A couple of days ago.
Well, that's good, isn't it? I mean, at least she's alive. Great.
As far as we can gather, Mr. Reagan, you must have been one of the last people to see her.
Was I?
This is a French exercise book. Valerie, please see me after the lesson. And French was the last lesson.
And is that the day she went missing?
March the 24th.
Ah. Oh, sorry, what am I thinking of? Would either of you like one?
No, thanks.
You're very welcome.
Positive.
You're quite right. I make terrible sandwiches. I can't work out whether this is pate or peanut butter.
So, what would this have been about, sir?
Valerie? Let me see. There was an exam coming up, I seem to remember. I probably wanted to have a word with her about it. Or was there? I don't know, actually. It could have been about anything. March. Is it as long ago as that? Amazing.
So, didn't you enjoy teaching young ladies?
It was all right.
Why move then?
I don't know. I wasn't very happy there, to tell you the truth. I don't know. That school, Homewood, it's one of those places where you feel... Well, I expect you've been there. It's one of those places where you feel the sun shines all the time. All day, every day, sun. And you can't help remembering all the places where it's always cloudy. And then you can start to think that the one place is sunny at the expense of the other place is cloud and vice versa. I'm beginning to sound like the weather report.
Well, I thought Reagan was a nice bloke.
Kiss of death saying that to me, Lewis. Makes me very suspicious. It goes straight to the top of my list.
What about the forensic labs at Aldermost?
Seen it.
And?
90% probability in favor of her having written it.
So what's the problem?
She can't have Max. She's dead. I'm positive.
You mean about 90% positive? Look, Morse, I'm a pathologist. I'm not a handwriting expert.
But?
Well, it could be forged, I don't know. I could probably forge that handwriting. But then I'm not your average body in the street.
Same again?
No.
Bitter, please.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing at all.
A girl's gone missing. She writes a letter to her parents. That's good, isn't it?
Why does she cut off the top of the paper?
Printed address.
Dear Mum and Dad?
Maybe she doesn't think they are dear. I don't know.
No, you see, I've spent the past week around all this money. All these beautiful places, things. People who tell me how happy they are, that they've got everything they want. Everyone is very polite, smiles at me. And I'm not convinced. I don't believe it.
That's you, though, friend, isn't it? That's your problem.
Is it?
Just because the girl is from a well-off family doesn't make the pain any less for the parents.
No, but if her dad wasn't on the police committee, we wouldn't know anything about it, would we?
Only a man without children could talk the way you do. You know, imagine you've lost your only recording of the ring cycle. And try and think some things might hurt even worse than that.
Yes, but I've got it on cassette as well.
No, I'll tell you how I met my husband. He came over to Ireland to hunt. I rode to hounds in those days. Anyway, George is a strong man, and he lifted me off my horse, literally. Were it possible, I think he would have carried me over to this country there and then, but as it was, he had to observe a few formalities. I was married to someone else at the time. So, will you have milk?
Please, no sugar. What sort of relationship did you have with Valerie?
I am her mother. We're very, very close. So sometimes she hated me.
Right, but you spoke.
Oh, yes.
Did she tell you she was pregnant?
No, because she wasn't.
We have reason to believe she was.
Well, you're quite wrong. I would have known.
The night she disappeared, were you expecting her home as usual?
Of course.
Was she often late?
Sometimes.
Why?
The usual things, you know. Something at school, visiting friends. I was never her jailer.
These friends, would they be girlfriends or boyfriends?
Oh, both, I would think, wouldn't you?
I'm trying to work out why you didn't contact the police until the following morning.
Because my husband was away. Because somehow I was expecting her to walk through that door any minute. Because somehow I still am. Because I don't know.
That's fine. And is Valerie... Is your husband Valerie's father?
No, he isn't. He's always wanted us to have children, but somehow over the years, people have assumed that she's his. So, there's no need for him to know we've discussed this. I'm not saying he's an easy man, but he worships her.
Yes.
When we got the letter, well, you can imagine.
That's it. That's her.
Sir?
Come forward.
Where are the Craven files?
I've got them.
Well, bring them in.
Right.
Did you say you'd read that diary?
Did, yes.
What did she say about her dad?
I don't know, nothing I can remember.
Well, just get it.
It's funny looking at this. Makes you feel sad, doesn't it?
What, because she's dead, you mean?
No, sir. I don't think she is dead.
So you keep saying.
She wrote a letter. The path lab confirmed it was her handwriting.
Okay, she wrote a letter. She's alive. She's in London and quite happy where she is. Thank you very much. Fine.
We've still got to find her.
Why? So we can drag her back home, tell her what a naughty girl she's been?
Yeah, if we have to. It is a missing persons case. So we find the person that's missing.
It's no case if she wrote the letter.
Okay.
But the fact is, she's dead. It isn't missing persons, it's murder. Yes?
The Chief Super thought you ought to see this, sir. Just arrived. No print.
I hear you're trying to find me. I don't want you to because I don't want to go back home. I'm very happy. Yours truly, Valerie Craven.
It's me. I know. I'm sorry. It's just the police called. They've had another letter from Valerie. I know. She said she didn't ever want to come home. Look, I really need to see you. I keep having these terrible dreams. I'm sorry. Yes, I'll go. Okay. Okay.
You sent for me.
Yes.
Is something the matter?
I don't know. I had a phone call from the police this morning. They've received a letter from Valerie.
But they can't have.
Inspector.
I know it's late. Is it too late?
Well, actually it is.
Right.
I'm not going to turn you away.
Then I won't go.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
Is this a professional call?
I think so, yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So?
I'll tell you. I can't think in straight lines, you see, so sometimes I bash into the answers and sometimes I walk straight past them. Was that a mixed metaphor?
Yep, probably.
Well. So, you see, I've had some thoughts and I wanted your opinion. Although probably what will happen, it'll be like that board game where the last person you thought had done it.
Done what?
Whatever it is.
Well, I'm lost, but don't let that stop you.
You live alone?
2 cats.
Anyway, I don't think that direction constitutes professional, so... Tell me about Mr. Phillipson.
The head. Very charming. You've met him. Very charming.
Do you like him?
Pass.
Is he a good headmaster?
I'm sure he is.
I'm not writing this down.
You don't need to. Isn't it the function of the deputy to see the problems of the head?
Probably.
Look, I'll tell you a story about Donald Phillipson. Last summer at the sports day, we have a sports day which is quite a grand affair. Lots of pretty dresses and hats and homemade jam, but quite serious as well, you know, house teams, a cup. Anyway, at the end of it, for light relief, there was a race for the parents. Some teachers joined in, but mostly it was the dads, you know, pulling off their jackets and borrowing the wrong size plimsolls, falling over. Donald entered. He appeared in kit and wearing running spikes. He won.
Right.
Whenever I think about him, I remember the spikes.
Yes. Men in their shoes.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Yes? Shan't keep you a moment. You look very nice. So?
Morse. He came over to my house last night.
And?
And now he'd like to meet us together tomorrow.
Why is that, do you think?
I've no idea.
Chief Inspector rather reminds me of a dog my parents once had. There was nowhere in the house I could go where he wouldn't find me. He was blind, the dog, and I don't think he was anything, no pedigree or anything. But in the end, he would always blunder in,